Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I ask everybody to please rise for the national anthem and stay standing afterwards for the playing of the Marine Corps hymn.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Make a hole.
Camp's in the house.
Food jam.
You like that?
All right, so much for a program. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, good afternoon. I'd like to thank Mother Nature for doing the right thing today. The weather report during the week wasn't that great. But on Chuck's day, the sun is shining, and Jerry Cooney's here. What else could you ask for? You know, in the entertainment world, whether you're a singer, a sports celebrity, or an actor, the epitome of being in that field is to be recognized just by your first name, like Cher, for example. In New Jersey, there are only 4 people that I know of that are recognized by their first name. Bruce, Frank, Whitney, and Chuck. Welcome to the unveiling of the statue for Bayonne's #1 son, Chuck. Chuck is a quintessential Bayonne guy. He's funny, he's tough, he's fiercely loyal, and if you're his friend, you're his friend for life. And that's what Chuck is all about. 48 years ago, if you asked somebody, what do you know about Bayonne, they would say, the Exxon refinery. A year later, everybody knew Bayonne because of Chuck. After that fight in Cleveland, where many of you are in attendance. Chuck has put Bayonne on the map, and that's the reason why we're here today. One of the things that wasn't a controversy, but the question was, where are we going to put this statue? Where are we going to give it its final place? And there was questions about whether it be in the Hudson County Park, whether it be at the entrance to the city when you come off the turnpike. But finally, everybody got together, and with Mayor Davis's help and guidance, we decided to put it down here at Dennis P. Collins Park. And the thing about that is, this is a Bayonne park. Chuck is a Bayonne guy. Chuck's not a Hudson County guy, he's a Bayonne guy. We wanted it in a Bayonne park. Secondly, and most importantly, is that this park is named after former Mayor Dennis P. Collins, good friend of mine, a mentor. And Dennis Collins was at ringside in Cleveland when Chuck had his fight. So it's appropriate that this monument is here in Dennis P. Collins Park. And behind us we see the Bayonne Bridge. Not the Staten Island Bridge, not the Hudson County Bridge, but the Bayonne Bridge. Dennis Collins was very, very happy to be at that fight. And as he told me many times, with his little bit of Irish brogue at the end, he said, "It was a great day. I got to see Chuck Wepner put Muhammad Ali on his arse." And we'll all remember that day. There's a couple of people initially I'd like to thank. One is right here to my right, Linda Wepner. Yes. Thank you for sharing your husband with us for all these many years. I know it had to be very, very difficult. And also Charlene and Kimberly Wepner, Chuck's daughters, thank you for sharing your father for these many years. There are numerous professional boxers here. There are even more politicians. Sun goes down now about 4:30, so we're not going to name all of them. But thank you all for being here today. Our first speaker is going to be my co-chairman for the Chuck Wepner Statue Fund. One of the funniest guys in Bayonne. He's got his heart in the right place, and he always wears this silly tuxedo no matter what event that he goes to. But nobody worked harder for this statue, nobody worked harder for this fund, nobody worked harder for this event than my friend Bruce Dillon.
My learned friend. All right, finally, the big day. It's here. Welcome. I know you're waiting for me to say, "Let's get ready to rumble" with this outfit on. Linda called me a penguin. Yes. My father loved Chuck. My father in his last days said, "Get that statue done." Well, here we all are. Does any one man deserve a statue? Maybe. Does the Rocky story? Definitely. 100 years from now, that story will still be relevant, and that statue will still be here. I want to show great appreciation to Zen Wu, Master Sculptor, and my next door neighbor. Ask him how he feels about that. My co-chairman friend, and quite often, my lawyer. You made this one class ride, Chris. What are we working on next? The city made this statue an icon of Bayonne. Mayor, thank you. Tommy Carter, you're unbelievable. And my little friend Jackie over here. You made it real easy to do. All your love and respect made this statue. Let it be known, without the support of my wife, Nicole, I wouldn't be here. And if Hurricane Nicole didn't fizzle out, nobody would be here. To my father, we got it done.
And no parking tickets today.
Wait a minute now, wait a minute now.
Forgive me.
All right, our next speaker on behalf of the County of Hudson is Commissioner Ken Kopacz.
Welcome to downtown Bayonne, God's country, baby. On behalf of Hudson County, we have County Executive Tom DeGeese. Let's give it up for Tom DeGeese with us today. And Deputy Chief Craig Guy. Craig Guy, thank you for all that you do. It's an absolute pleasure to be here, champ. I got my father here who's 70 years old and my son who's 7, and this statue is going to be here for generations to come. I live a couple blocks away, and Chuck, I couldn't be happier. Congratulations, my friend. We love you. Anything we could ever do for you, we're here for you, Chuck. Thank you for giving us pride in Bayonne and giving us a lesson. We might get punched, we might get knocked down, but when we get up, we're not dancing side to side, we're coming straight at you. We're from Bayonne, baby. God bless you all. I have proclamations here for Chuck and artist Zen Wu. Thank you, guys. God bless you all.
Folks, you're going to hear the name Zen Wu a number of times during the event. He is the sculptor of this statue. Like Bruce said, he, just on a coincidence, moved next door to Bruce. His realtor should be sued for selling him that house without telling him where he was going to be, but nonetheless, they fostered a relationship that was unbelievable. And you'll see in a few minutes the fruits of his labor. Zen Wu is going to be honored here by a number of folks, and rightfully so. He, as you can imagine, Bruce chewed him down tremendously and constantly kept him in tow, and we finally got it done. Yes, set of tires. They fixed the flat for him. Our next speaker on behalf of the state of New Jersey, Assemblyman Will Sampson.
Good afternoon, Bayonne. It's very exciting for me to be here today. On behalf of the state and the General Assembly, I have a resolution for Chuck. But I also would be remiss if I did not acknowledge and mention our veterans one more time that are here today. And also, a happy birthday, a happy belated birthday to the Marine Corps. So on behalf of the state, Chuck, congratulations. And one thing, when I met Chuck, he said, Jimmy finally got it right. He got to meet somebody that can finally look in my eyes.
Before we move on to our next speaker, there's a few people that I'd like to thank that made today possible. The Municipal Council of the City of Bayonne, along with Mayor James Davis. Assemblyman Will Sampson and Commissioner Ken Kopacz, as you've already heard today. Tommy Cotter is the Director of Public Works, along with Jackie McNulty and her staff at the DPW. All the workers and supporters that were involved in the fundraising. We had 3 major fundraisers. We had the movie premiere down at Frank's Theater. We had a roast that had about 300 people at it, and then we had another fundraiser where we dealt with. We had a number of boxers come in, and it was all very well attended and very well and very profitable, with the exception of one example. Bruce calls me one day and says, "We're going to do a telethon." I said, "Okay." He said, "It's going to be me, you, Chuck, and the artist that paints Chuck's paintings, and we're going to go to a TV studio in North Bergen, and that's where it's going to take place. It's going to be 90 minutes long." So that day, I guess I must have had a bad day because I allowed Bruce to handle the final details and the things that were involved with it, but you learn a lesson and you move on. So we get to North Bergen, we drive to North Bergen, we get into this television studio, and we spend about an hour going over microphones and camera angles and content, and after an hour, it's showtime. Boom, the telethon starts, 90 minutes long. it goes off like a charm. It was wonderful. At the end of the day, I said, Chuck, this looks good. What do you think? And he goes, yeah. He says, it looks fantastic. We should raise some money. The next day, I called Bruce and I said, how'd we do? And he said, okay. Now, I know that means I got to ask some more questions. But how much money did we raise? $95. And 50 of it was a donation from the cameraman's girlfriend. So we moved along and things did very well with our fundraising efforts, and that's why the statue is finished today. I also want to thank the Bridgman Brass, folks on the old Bayonne Bridgman who were here. They played the Marine Corps National Anthem, and we'll hear from them later. And there's also a couple of teachers at Bayonne High School, Kelly Sweeney and John Rinaldi, did the QR code. If you notice, well, you will later on when everybody gets out of the way. There's a queue that you can put your phone up to, and it gives you the whole history of Chuck and the monument and the events of today, and they did a wonderful, wonderful job.
Everybody move. Half an hour.
All right. Before we're gonna vary from the.
Judge, real fast, I hate to cut in. This is my MC, been not only my lawyer, but he don't judge. Lee Schreiber saw my movie, one of the top 4 or 5 actors in the world. You guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Lee Schreiber.
Thank you. Hello, Bayonne. I just want to say that I know everybody thought that this story was the Rocky story. This story was the Ali story. This story was the Sly Stallone story. I gotta say, at risk of being punched in the head, everything I knew about Chuck pointed to the fact that this was my story. That this was a guy who was fighting his own demons harder and better than any person I've ever met in my life. And that's what made him the great champion that he is. He won every fight he fought. Every single fight he fought.
That was in the street.
That's the self-determination, the discipline, the drive was so inspiring to me as someone who was dealing with his own demons about what was I without my career, what was I without my fame, what was I without my belt. I never had a belt, but I just thought I'd throw that in. That's it. And I think it's so amazing that you guys are erecting this statue to me, because for me... No, I'm sorry, Chuck. I'm sorry. He's not just the fighting spirit of Bayonne. He's the fighting spirit of the world. And it's no coincidence, by the way, that the Ukrainians beat back the Russians yesterday in Kherson. I honestly think Chuck had something to do with it. I'm not sure how, but I swear to you, I think Chuck had something to do with it.
We sent them 3 trailer loads from here for the man. We did. Send them over.
Chuck, I love you so much. And I'm so proud and so grateful to you for letting me have your story. And I hope you realize that you've won every belt there is. And that's Linda. That's right. I love you and congratulations.
Boy, we can pack them in, can't we?
There's one of my hands, 328 stitches. That's how many I have. I'll tell you what, and I ducked a couple punches. That's true, I didn't.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next speaker, who's had some remarks and an introduction and a proclamation, is Mayor James Davis.
So, let me just say thank you for everybody coming out today. Look at the crowd. Take a look. Look around with each other. Look up top. This is for Chuck. This is for Bayonne. To all our veterans, which includes Chuck, a Marine. Thank you. To have Lee Schreiber show up during his busy schedule to be here, I can't thank you enough. When we unveil it and he sees the head that it looks like Chuck, I don't think he'll say it's his statue anymore.
I wanted it to look like Rock Hudson.
He may be the best looking Chuck Wepner we'll ever see. But before I get started in introducing Chuck, I want to bring up Jen Wu. So besides today being Chuck Wepner's day that we unveil a statue, we're going to name this day for Jen Wu also. Because he had the unfortunate status of buying the house next door to Bruce Dillon. But that is a typical Bayonne story. That is a typical Bayonne story. That somehow or another, a man this talented found his way moving into Bayonne for the first time and found his way into each and every one of our hearts. So today, we also honor Jen Wu with a proclamation on his death. It'll take forever if we read.
Give me
You know,
one, I'll read it.
he can read.
Really, it's too long?
Yeah.
Whereas on Saturday, November 12, 2022, the city of Bayonne is holding a ceremony to unveil Jen Wu's statue of Chuck Wepner. Jen Wu immigrated from China to the United States in 1980.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm very happy to be here today. I'm waiting for so long. 42 years ago, I immigrated to United States. The United States gave me an opportunity to be a man. I love America. God bless America. And thank you everybody support me. And thank you city. Especially thanks my terrible neighbor. You bother me too much. Thank you everybody.
So now it's time to hear from the man. And I'm going to dispel a rumor that was going around for the last couple of weeks, maybe a month, that the county wouldn't allow this statue in the county park. Well, that is not true. That is absolutely not true. The decision was made to put it in a Bayonne park. Dennis P. Collins Park here on First Street is a Bayonne park. This is a veterans park. Chuck is a Marine. That's why this statue is here. And one of my taglines I always say is there's nothing more Bayonne than the Bayonne Bridge and Chuck Wepner. My friend, ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Wepner.
You always make these microphones low. I try to pull them out. I broke more damn microphones. This does come out a little bit. You know, I just want to thank everybody for coming here today and showing. I mean, look at this crowd. We got a few hundred people here. My daughter Charlene is here with my daughter Kimberly. also, but they're in the back of the crowd, and I don't even know if they could get through, but they're here, and they're waving now. My son-in-law, Peter, and you know, it just, I'm gonna make this short and sweet. Yeah, I was a Marine also. I was a non-commissioned officer Marine, okay? That means you got 2 stripes up and 1 down, and I'll tell you what, it takes a while to get there. Anybody can be a Marine, but if you make a little rank while you're in there and you get out, you should be very proud of yourself, and I am. You see what they're doing? They've got the United States flag on top where it should be, and they've got the Marine Corps flag right under it. You know, we missed the Marine Corps birthday by 2 days, okay? But we're still celebrating that also. And the reason I'm here is because of all you guys. I'll never leave Bayonne, and I'm going to ask the mayor, when I go, I'm being cremated. Stick me in the ground next to my statue. That'll make me happy. Thank you all very much, and have a great day. Thank you again for coming.
Ready, Chuck? What lead will we get?
Yeah, for sure. 5 minutes. So,